What's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night, time for another edition of Thrifty Business with Jay and Naen. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay.
Oops, Kelly Naen here.
I almost ejected you out of the show. That would have been horrible.
Wow.
I was just on it by accident. I'm like, whoa, whoops.
Yeah, we
All right, so for those of you who tuned in last week, you know this is Jay and Naen's first cliffhanger ever because we have Rosita again. Hello, Rosita. How are you?
Hello, everybody.
Rosita was telling us a story, and it was getting good, and the second it got good, bam, Rosita was gone. Yep. So my mom filled in. If you didn't catch last week, it was kind of fun, so check out last week's show. But Rosita's here to finish her story and talk about why she's here, because she is a whiz at taking great pictures and using social media. So we'll get to her. So, Rosita, thanks for coming back. Let's hope you don't disappear this time.
Okay.
And we will see you in a little bit. Oops.
Sounds
and
good.
while I'm doing that, just as a heads up, I have a new computer, and I'm switching from my old computer to my new computer. It was supposed to take 4 hours, and that was about 8 ago. So I'm on my little laptop, and I'm trying to work all this out. So this might not be the smoothest show, but I just want to give everyone a heads up. And but it shouldn't be too bad. So we will get going right away, like we usually do with. As I say that,
you're a little fuzzy tonight, so.
My little fuzzy.
You're a little fuzzy. It's
all right. Well, we'll have to make do with what we got tonight. So let's get right to it. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Every week I drink a different rum and I share a different tiki mug with you. This week I decided to stick with drinking better rum. Bacardi does not make all that good of rum, except for two very specific ones. Bacardi 8 and Bacardi Special Reserve. That's only at the plantation. So I'm drinking Bacardi 8 tonight. And since it is Tiki Talk, I was at a tiki event this past weekend in Palm Springs. So this is one of the mugs from the event. So it is to represent glass floats with some corks in between. Let me take a little sip here.
Is that ceramic?
That is ceramic.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
They made 3 colors. They made a green, a blue, and a red. And it was a great event. It was my first tiki speech, and I shared some tiki stories about finds I had, some cool finds and how I found the stuff. But then more importantly, I taught people how to sell their extra tiki mugs the best way they can, because most tiki people have sold and bought on eBay, but aren't full-timers like the majority of us. So I wanted to give them some heads up and let them know the best ways to go about it. So it was a great event. It was definitely like camp for adults, because we took over a 2-story motor lodge, and there was bands all weekend and performers, and there was 3 other symposiums besides mine. They were all about drinking rum and cocktails, and we were in the pool having a good old time, and then you just go from room to room, and everybody has room parties, and each room party is sponsored by a rum. So it's not like you're getting just like, a warm half a Bud Light. You're getting a nice cocktail. So It was definitely a lot of fun.
Sounds like fun.
And what are you drinking this evening?
I have coconut water in my sippy cup that Pam sent me. Well, she gave it to me, I think, back in September or October. I don't know when I saw her, but thank you, Pam.
Yes, that is awesome sippy cup. All right, so now we've done Tiki Talk. Let's do time for Nae's breast cancer update and fact of the week.
Okay, so it's every week I say it's a tough week, because it is. When you have cancer, it is what it is. So I am supposed to follow up on some tests. I'm still dealing with some insurance issues, which I'm straightening out, and I will get on them next week. I've been kind of I've had some doctor's appointments this week, but I've been kind of just, I don't know, I wouldn't say taking a week off, because I still have my doctor's appointments, but with the tests and the poking and the prodding, it gets a little tiresome after a while, so I've kind of put things off a little till next week, which is fine. I will be okay with that. And this past Sunday was really awesome, because I attended a breast cancer event, which Jay is going to bring up some photos of. And if for all of you who know the art museum with the Rocky, I don't know if you've probably all seen the Rocky movies. So he runs up the art museum steps. That's the famous steps there.
Dun, dun, dun,
And
dun, 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 dun,
so there
dun,
were
dun.
2,500 people simultaneously doing a huge yoga class together on the art museum steps. I had to wake up super early. I got there at 6:30 to get a spot, and it looks less crowded than it actually was, but it was really crowded. And I wanted to get the free parking, so I got the street parking. That's only like 5 minutes from my house, the art museum. It's really close to me. So, and a good friend of mine on the left there, that's my friend Diane, who I've been friends with since kindergarten. So she came out for the event, and a lot of my pink sisters, my breast cancer sisters, were there too. So it was a really cool event. And it was a long yoga class. Everyone did the yoga, and there was a registration fee and an optional donation, and they raised I think $360,000 for Living Beyond Breast Cancer, which is a fantastic organization. They do so much good. So I was really excited to be a part of that.
Awesome.
Yes,
And then
it was freezing cold, but it was a good day.
Cold?
It was cold. It was freezing cold, but.
All right, before we go any further,
Yes.
we have to, it'd be cool if we could all sing, but since there's a delay in the actual show, that wouldn't work, so don't bother singing because you'll all be off key and off tune with each other. But it is not just my mother's birthday, which is actually today. Not just my mother's 73rd birthday. It is Nadine's mother's 73rd birthday in 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
yes, they were born 3 days apart, literally. So.
Absolutely crazy. So, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mom, and happy birthday, Peggy.
Yes, happy birthday to both moms. And Rosita's mother's birthday is next week, so happy birthday to her, too. That's just crazy.
Yes, a lot of May birthdays.
Yeah.
My boys are both May, too, so, well, my older boys, yes.
That is cray. All right, let's get right into it here. And it is now time for... There we go. The scores of the week brought to you by WorthPoint. All right, now here is where it might get a little tricky. Hang on a minute. Oh, no, that's not the scores of the week. Bear with me for 1 second. A little tough. I went from working on 3 27-inch monitors to one 19-inch monitor.
We're kind of winging it tonight. It's okay.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. We got it. All right, so I'm going to sound like a broken record, and I told this to the class I taught at the Tiki event. How would you like to drink at a Tiki bar for free? And the way you do that is when you go to Tiki bars that have collectible mugs that people want, you buy the mug. So this mug came from Otto Shrunken Head in New York City, where I just was. It sold for $48. It cost me $22 with a drink. So essentially, I paid for a couple of drinks. And then I brought it home. I took my souvenir home, and I sold it for, a little more than twice as much. So you can go to any Tiki bar that has good collectible mugs. Some Tiki bars don't have good ones, but Otto's is one of the ones that has good ones. And you can flip it and drink for free. To go along with the Tiki bar theme, I sold this bitchin' Pacific Isle shirt. The brand's just okay. It's not like one of the super duper old school ones, but it was bark cloth. That is the heavier cotton.
Mm-hmm.
But what's awesome was it's a cabana shirt. As you notice, there are 4 pockets, 2 lower, 2 upper, and has the little epaulets up on the, whoops, I'm going the wrong way, up on the shoulders. There they are.
What?
Epaulets, the little things on the shoulders like you would see like a bellman.
Okay, you just taught me something there. So the 4 pockets and those...
Yeah, so cabana was a good keyword. The epaulets, and then, man, look at that bitchin' like late 60s, early 70s collar. Woo! That was awesome.
Awesome, yes.
So that sold for $44.99. I paid like $3 or $4 for that. And this is what happens when you clean out your closets, and mine are overflowing. I've had these Echo Unlimited pants in my closet forever, and they're pretty bitchin'. They're a camo with like little puzzle pieces in it. And I just sold them for $50 this week. So clean out your closets. You'll never know what you'll find.
Okay, so this was my first score that I was asking $99.99 for this purse, which was a little ambitious. It is a beautiful purse. And if I held out for a little longer, I might have gotten closer to that price. But someone offered me, she came at a lower offer, and we haggled a little bit, and I settled on 55, which I was happy with. I think that was, it was a good sale. I don't think I would have gotten the $99.99, and really it's been up. It's been in my store for quite a while, so I was happy to take that offer. It's not a huge purse either. It's actually a smaller size, so it's really pretty though. And these shoes I paid $2 for. Back when Jay was here, I think it was in February, we did a purse shoes challenge, and I sold a few pairs of these shoes already, so I need to see some of Jay's purse sales.
Yep, I had my assistant just take the picture, so
okay.
we're very close.
So these were in the $2 section at Philly Thrift, and there was really no beading that wasn't intact on them. They were really cool. They're Naen West, which is a kind of bread and butter brand. It's not the top of the line, but it's an okay brand. But they were really nice. They kind of had some kind of an Indian feel to them with the beading, and they were really pretty. And they were in pretty good shape. I bought them for $2 and sold them for $29.99.
Nice. And you would think this was my listing, but no, it's Nadine's.
Thank you. So I have to thank Jay for this. This has been almost a year. Last June, when he was here after I was diagnosed and before my big huge surgery, he came and helped me out with some listings and whatnot. And this is one of the listings. This is all your photography, Jason. So I can't take any credit for that. It's a beautiful photo, and it was a really cool listing. I had collected some tiki mugs, some kind of not duds, but kind of middle of the road tiki mugs for a while.
Actually, they're all duds, and so I want to point that out because you sold a lot of duds for $59.
Even the salt and pepper shaker, because you said that was from the original.
Yeah, but the problem is you only have one, so it's really tough when you have a half a set.
Okay, well you added to my lot. You put some swizzles in there, some cool postcards, and the pictures were really cool. So I got an offer for $59 from someone in the UK. So they paid the shipping, and I accepted the offer, $59.99, I think.
Oh, that was out of focus a little bit. Whoops, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing I want to point out is that awesome background is just a shirt I had brought on vacation with me.
Yep. Yeah.
So, you can be very creative with very little. Or, well, it's not very little because it's my shirt, so it's not real little, but
well,
catch my drift.
And you took the photo just in my house in in my just regular daylight lighting. So It was, very cool. And I sold that. I was very happy with that sale. So thank you. I owe that one to you.
You're so welcome. All right, we had our scores. Now it is time. For our duds of the week, let our mistakes not be yours. All right, so we'll get rid of the duds, and we'll get this back up here. All right, so this is my dud, and I bought it as a goof because, to me, this shirt is a man's shirt, but surely did not read like a man's shirt. I just can't imagine a dude wearing this shirt. I mean, it's a very cute shirt, but it's man's all the way.
Yeah. Buttons are on man's side, yeah.
Yeah, and you can even tell by the whole cut. The whole cut's man's. Even had this on the back, and I took an offer of $12 or $14 the other day. So I made a couple dollars, but I just wanted to see if it would sell, and that was the first nibble I had, and it has been listed for a couple months, so I just went with it. Now, I bought a whole collection of CDs. This OTEP CD was in there. I sold it for a whopping $2.26. But I only paid a quarter per CD for the whole collection. So, although a dud, I did get 10 times money, and I would never go buy this CD, but if you can buy collections where the collection ended up being a quarter a CD, you might as well list the $2 ones too at that point, and only at that point, because with shipping, you actually make a little bit through Amazon. So, if you could turn in a quarter into $2 every day and do that 100 times a day, 200 times a day, yeah, that'd be okay. I wouldn't go hunt this CD out, but if it showed up for a quarter or free, heck yeah, I'll list it and take a couple bucks. And this is going to look like it's not a dud. It actually sold for $72.99. But here's a little lesson. So I want everyone to lean in and listen. A customer asked me a question, and unfortunately, I answered based on memory and not actually looking at the product. So he based his purchase on that response from me. And when I went to ship it and I looked at it, what my response was and what the actual fact was were totally different. He said, is the tread all good? I said, it's perfect, almost unworn. Yeah, well, a few of the treads were gone. So I screwed up, and I told him, and he actually thanked me for being honest, and I canceled it. I took my defect because I screwed up. I didn't try and scoot around the rules, but he thanked me for being honest. So, I mean, that's the best thing you can do. So don't ever answer from memory. Always answer from when you're holding the product in your hand.
What I'll usually do if I'm not home or I can't dig out the item really quickly is I'll say, just to acknowledge them that they know that I've seen their question, I'll say, hey, I'm sorry I'm not home or I can't dig it out right now, but as soon as I can, I'll get back to you. So just so that they know that I've heard them. And
all right, you are up, girlfriend.
Yes, I see that. So another $7.99 sewing pattern that I get most of my sewing patterns in big lots, so it's really not, it's just like cents on the dollar. So in reality, but still $7.99 free shipping.
I was about to say it's better than my $2.26 CD, but at least Amazon charges shipping and they charge more than what it actually costs, so it does work out okay.
Yeah, it's, and here's another one, $6.99 free shipping. And I thought, because this one was a Today's Fitsend or a Bitsina, that it would do a little better, but no, it's $6.99 free shipping. And you know what? Some of my patterns go for as much as $40. The average is like $15 or so, but not that one. So this one, this is actually going to be part of my shipping tip. So
this isn't a dud?
Oh no, this is a dud. But
it
was,
okay.
Yeah, no, it's a dud. So I have 3 more of these mugs in various designs. They're I thought they were cool. They're Japanese geisha, and I've had them for literally years. I had to dig through the bins, and I found all 3 of the other ones, and then I found, of course, the design that the person actually purchased. So it did go FOMO. It was $19.99 with free shipping. So I made a profit on it. It was still a decent sale, but really, I don't know if I'm going to sell the other 3. I thought they were cool at the time that I bought them, but apparently no one else really thinks so.
All right, we have done our scores, we have done our duds, and now it is time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. And mine's kind of weird and kind of unique. So I went thrifting today for other things than what I'm about to show you. But before I get to the thrifting part, I bought about 2 years ago. I was at a estate sale with my wife. Talking to the daughter. The mother had passed away. She listened to a ton of music, but only one kind, folk. And I bought like 400 folk CDs off her. Now, I don't know much about folk, but folk is definitely one of them genre musics that it doesn't sell a ton. So if somebody's looking for the fringe folk stuff, it's going to be kind of pricey or quick to sell because it's not readily available like a Britney Spears or Metallica CD. So I listed all the good stuff on Amazon, sold almost all of it by now. I took the crap and I took it to a record store and traded it in. And here's what's left. And the reason these are left is because this woman's name was Cindy, and Cindy got a lot of CDs autographed. So this is a folk CD with Peter Tork from the Monkees. And so on the inside it says, "To Cindy, love Peter Tork." This is from Rhonda Cadle. For Cindy, thank you for your trust and support, Rhonda. This is Jenny and Billy. For Cindy, heart Jenny. So as you can see, she got a lot autographed. Now, Christine Lavin is a folk artist who used a very famous pug picture in one of her CDs. So here it is right here. And it says, "Hey, Cindy," and then Christine autographed it and the date 5/14/03. So today I bought a bunch of records, videotapes, a couple other things. I looked at the CD section. I see one CD I like. It's a It's a Christine Levin record CD, and it's signed to Cindy with the same date.
Wow.
Now I bought the entire collection 2 years ago. How this one ended up at Savers today, and that's the only CD I grab. It's just bizarro world. So I think that is one of our best Close Encounters of the Thrifty.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. Top that, sister.
Yeah, I'm not going to be topping that.
All right.
So I have not been, you have to go to thrift stores to actually have thrifty encounters. So I haven't been thrifting much lately, just because of my medical situation and whatnot. So I was at the park this past Sunday after I came home, and I come into the house after my breast cancer event, and it's empty. And so I figured that my family, my husband and my kids, were probably down at the park with the dog, because the dog was missing too. So I walked down to the park, and there was my husband was talking to this guy, and he said, he introduced me to him, and he said, hey, I was talking, this guy sells, I think it's baseball cards on eBay, and he's really hardcore into selling them and collecting them and whatnot. So, and he watches your show. So I started talking to the guy, and it was really cool because it was just a random fan in Philly that I found, and he's a fan of Thrifty Business. He's just been watching our YouTube show, and I invited him to the June 3rd event, and it was just pretty cool. And our dogs are friends. They play together. So it was kind of cool to just meet a random fan who knew about our show, who was into, the same thrifting and whatnot, and just down at the park around the corner from my house. So that's my thrifty encounter.
That's a cool encounter.
Yeah.
Not as wickedly weird as mine, but
no, but it was so cool that and he knew about your show, Jason, and he had actually been a fan of Thrift Hunters, years, before I met him in the park. So it was a cool thing, yeah.
All right, we've done our thrifty encounter. Now it's time for wrong side. Let me try again. Time for our thrifty tips of the week, and mine is actually extra special, Nadine, because I went to buy something specifically at Savers today for my thrifty tip, knowing what my tip was going to be, and it turned into a secondary tip inside the tip. So this is like a crazy day. Crazy day.
Okay, I that went over my head. So
all right, so my tip was going to be, especially at Savers, they take all the greeting cards they get donated, and they make random assortments, and they stick them on the wall. So I got this whole assortment for $1.50. Now, I'm old school. I will still send out a card from time to time. If I'm sending out a gift, I'll send out a card. I'll send out condolence cards. I'll send out thank you cards. I'll send out thinking of you cards. Not every day, all day, but it's nice to have this lot. So this whole lot cost $1.50. So, I got some nice stuff in here. So here's a cute little thank you card, and you've done so much for me, so another little thank you card. And there's some, where are they? There is a grandmother card in here. There's some Valentine's Day cards. So all these cards for $1.50. But then here's where the tip inside the tip comes in, and it kind of caught me off guard. So I was just looking through it to, share with you guys what kind of assortment there will be. And I came across these, and I noticed the envelope had an artist's name on it. So it is Marjolaine Baston. And I'm like, I wonder if these are worth anything. So these cards, and I got six random ones, they'll sell for $23.
What?
So not only is my tip good, get some cheap cheap greeting cards, look at them. They might be worth some money. A bunch of lots of like 6 and 8 sell between $20 and $25. So just to show you guys a tip, I made money. Ta-da!
Okay, that's surprising. I know her. I know that artist. She does all the Hallmark cards. So
there you go.
That's interesting. And speaking of
wait! Not each. For that lot, I will sell for like $25.
So speaking of cards, here's one that I got from you from something that I bought from this show a long time ago. It's still on my shelf above my desk. So you do send out cards. This is the postcard.
Yep. See, I do send out cards.
Yes. So my thrifty tip is, did I give you a picture for that?
Yep, you gave me 2 pictures.
I thought so. Yeah.
All right, start talking. I'm getting them.
Okay. So if you see some art or, you know, an old photo that was this case. This was this is a really creepy one. And I talked to Jason about this one, and I actually went back to the store because he had to have this crazy painting that he's going to pick up when he's in Philly. So this is actually she was born in 1876 and she lived until 1895. And this was Aunt Jessie Owen's Tad's sister. I don't know who that was, but that's who it was. So it was a really cool old photo in this crazy frame. It was really heavy, and I almost went back for it because Jason was like, well, I don't know, it's kind of creepy, not really my thing, but it was just a cool piece. But my point is, if you see something like that, always look at the back. And especially even in the case of Jason's painting, there were some interesting dedication remarks on the back of that one. So always turn around the art and look at it. I found this person's actual tombstone, which is creepy, yes, but and the actual, you know, the years that she lived, and it was interesting. So you never know what you're going to find in the back. Always turn it over, look on the back side, and see what you can find.
Yep, that was crazy.
It was, yes.
All right, now it is time. Oh crap! Wow, I was doing so good too. Now it is time for.
We have halftime in the background.
You have got to be shipping me, where Nadine and I tell you tips about what to do and what not to do. I'm usually the what not to do, but if you tuned in last week, I was showing you a to-do, and I ordered a special paper from Minneapolis that was going to have a 16-page prints pull-out section, and we discovered on the air it didn't have the special section, that the reason I wanted the paper. So my shipping tip to-do is when you blow it, hustle to make it right. They sent me that section immediately. It went out the next day. I had it within 2 days. Now, I decided to leave it sealed and open it on the air. Let's see if they actually sent me the correct thing. I thought it'd be more fun this way, because it'll be hilarious if it's not the right thing. Let's see. Oh, it is the right thing, so that's cool. Boom, there it is. That's what I've been looking for. So my tip is when you blow it, and you will, I did last week, we all do, get on it. Do not hesitate. Get it out immediately. Fix it for your customer, and then you'll always have a customer for life.
Good tip.
You are up, sister.
Yes, and I have a picture from
Yeah, I'm getting it. It's okay. 2, right? Yep.
Yeah, there's 2. So I ordered I have the middle of the road store, so I had $50 of free eBay shipping supplies, and I ordered tape and polys, which got stolen. And thank you, Joe, for sending me some tape. I have to give a shout out to our lifeguard, Joe, because she sent me some awesome eBay tape and some polys. So thank you. And so the only item that I actually did get that didn't get stolen off of my steps was the boxes. So these are 8 by 6 by 4 boxes. And I got them because I thought that they might be able to just be, you know, a total box that would go into the poly mailer and fit. So it doesn't fit as a made-up box. It's actually a couple inches shy. But if you shave off a couple inches, or about 1.5 inches, you can fit it in there. It just takes a little work. But what I did discover this week when I shipped that geisha mug, that Japanese geisha mug, which was kind of like this one, that you can actually kind of squash it, fold it, use it as your FOMO wrapping method, and it will fit perfectly into that poly mailer. So I bubble wrap the mug. I bubble wrap the mug, and I just kind of, you know, kind of squashed it into an octagon shape like that, and flattened it and taped it up at the sides after the bubble, and it fit perfectly in that poly mailer. I did have to finagle it a little bit, you know, but it fit perfect. So if you have these 8 by 6 by 4 eBay boxes, you can FOMO with them. They're the perfect size.
And for those of you who've never done it, that will now ship $5.90 anywhere in the country, including Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam, American Virgin Islands. You get a lot for that $5.90. That's why we use it.
Yes.
That's why it's awesome. All right, let's get to our 2-minute topic of the week. Oops, helps to push the button. Hello, there we go. Our 2-minute topic of the week was asked by Laura Stewart. Thank you, Laura. And this is great because we actually had a discussion about this today in the Thrifting Board, our Facebook group. So if you've not joined the Thrifting Board, come on over, and we'd love to have you. Facebook.com/thethriftingboard. How do you determine which keywords to include in your titles? All right. Where are we? There we are. All right, Nadine, are you ready? Oops.
I think so.
Okay, let me back this up. And you're off and running. Go.
So first of all, what I do is I think of the most relevant keywords to the item and what people are going to call the item. So here randomly I have this coffee mug. So I'm going to say coffee mug. Some people call it a coffee cup, so I'm going to say cup too. And then I would say Japanese geisha, and if there was a brand on the bottom, I would put the brand. And you should, especially with women, well, I saw a lot of women's clothing. You should put the size after the brand, kind of in the beginning, and then your kind of less relevant keywords afterwards. And also, what I do is I do look up sold. I do my research on the item. I see, all of the different variations of what someone could call the item. And I will use those keywords in order. And if I have extra room, I'll add some descriptive keywords, maybe the color. Colors, color can be important, obviously. And the size also, especially women's shoes.
You were going today, girlfriend.
I think I got all the pertinent information.
Yes, you did. And I'm gonna kind of copy you.
Okay.
So same thing on this mug. So this mug came from an event. So I would use the event name, Tiki Caliente. It's in Palm Springs. I would use that. It is a tiki mug. If I could show you the bottom without spilling my drink, you would see the designer's name and the mug maker. So those are all keywords I would use. Now, if I had some space left, the mug itself is some fishing floats. These are old Japanese fishing floats. That's what this mug is depicting. I would use that. And then, like Nadine was saying, I would look for relevant keywords. Now, today we had a discussion where someone had used tiki in their listing, and it wasn't tiki, and so she thought it was. So don't think, make sure, because it's not doing you any good if you're trying to get eyes on your product for people who want to buy it, and I'm looking for tiki things, and I roll across something not tiki, not only will I not buy it, I'll be very unhappy with you that you have screwed up my search. I got to look at crap that isn't tiki. So relevant keywords first, and the last thing I would say is this mug came in 3 colors, green, blue, and red. Because of that, I would use the color at the end. There we go. Boom! Boom!
You were a little over.
Yeah, I know. But hey, I got small spaces to work tonight, so.
It's okay. I'll forgive you.
All right, let's get to our last segment, and then we will get Rosita in here. Hopefully, she has not disappeared this week. All right, so our last segment tonight is one of our rotating segments, and tonight it is.
Oh yeah.
The good, the rad, and the ugly, because we all know ugly sells. All right, so I was like, asked my wife, I go, what do I got that's ugly? And I forgot. My mom thrifted while I was, oh, Mom, I still owe you $40. Don't let me forget to pay you. While I was out of town, and she left me some stuff. I said, yeah, please buy, I'll sell it. Well, here's the ugliest dress I have thrifted in a long, long time. Oh, yeah. We got the ruffles on the sleeve.
Wow, that is 80s.
We got the giant shoulder pads. And we got the ruffles at the bottom. Look at this. This is awesome.
Can I see the tag?
Yeah, and it was 100% silk, and I think it was $3.
I can't see it. It's
Raul Blanco.
Wow, that is 80s. That is
but for $3, so there's my ugliness of the week that should do quite well. And when it sells, I will definitely let you all know.
Awesome. So you have a photo for me.
Yes, I do. So
and I also have the actual item in hand.
All right, so I'll pop you up for a second, so show it.
Okay, so this is a Barbally, made in Japan, 100% 100% polyester, vintage. It's like a loungy kind of robe thing, and it's very similar to the puffy item that you sold, like the puffy robe thing that you sold. So it's just not selling, but it is ugly, and I did have it actually fixed and cleaned by my dry cleaners. I thought it was worth it, but it's still just not selling. So, but maybe because it's too ugly, I don't know.
Well, it's funny. The chat on mine is a clown died to make that dress.
Yes, this is. I mean, it's ugly. It's like, it's kind of got like the puffy quilted fabric, and it's just, I don't know. It's very, very, very 60s or.
Yeah, and it looks awesome on the black. So I don't know. Maybe we'd move a house coat up closer to the front.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't. Yeah, maybe it's something in my listing. I don't know, but
so that would be my thought.
It's late 60s and it's really cool, and it's just not selling. But it's pretty ugly. It's like kind of borderline cool ugly though. So.
Yep. All right. One last thing before we get Rosita in here. If you have not been made aware, I am doing a trip, and I've labeled it Thriftapalooza. I start June 4th in Philadelphia with my co-host Nadine. We have a live thrift show on that Friday. We are teaching a class the next day. That is sold out. I'm off to Pittsburgh on the 6th, where there's a couple slots left in that class. On to Cleveland, which is sold out, so there's no more room in that. And then I'll be in Port Huron on Thursday the 9th and Saturday the 11th, and then teaching a class in Detroit on the 10th. If you want any more information, come on over to the Thrifting Board on Facebook. And if you're one of those people who do not have Facebook, and lately I'm finding there's a lot of you, which that's cool. If you don't want to be on, that's cool. Drop me a note, tikipug@gmail.com, and I can give you any information you want. What I have not announced yet is every location there will be a gathering at a tiki bar. So if you don't want to take a class, if you don't want to see a live show, if you don't want to see a speech, but you do want to hang out and drink a tiki drink, that'll be coming up very soon. So be prepared for that. And if you come to the Philly one, you'll be there with Nadine and Pam and some of our other friends. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
All right, and we have a new graphic for Rosita, so this is awesome. So this is...
Yes.
Hey, it's Rosita, take two. Let's welcome her back. Let's hope she's still there. Fingers crossed. Hey, all right. How are you, Rosita?
I'm okay. How are you guys?
We are good, and you're here. Yes, I'm so excited. All right, so I'm assuming most of you watched last week. So, Rosita, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Give us a quick recap, but you were basically saying, look, Lithuania, right? Is it Lithuania? Yeah. Look, Lithuania, I'm out of here. See you later. Bye. And that's when you cut off. So catch us up to there real quick, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I left Lithuania and traveled to a few countries, lived in Israel, and then Canada. I had my daughter born in Canada, and while living in Canada, we filled out the paperwork and won the green card lottery. I'm not sure if the audience know, but if you come from a very small country that doesn't have a lot of immigration, U.S. provides you the ability to fill the paperwork and participate in a lottery, and I was the lucky winner. So
well, that deserves a... There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was really happy to receive the green card, and while we were already granted the Canadian citizenship, we came to U.S. to visit our friends here in Florida, and everybody just fell in love that they can swim in the ocean in February. So that's how we ended living in Florida. So at the present moment, I have a dual citizenship of the Canadian and U.S., and I'm living in Florida.
So how many countries have you lived in total?
I think 4.
Wow. That is impressive. And we're still here, so nice. All right, cool. We made it past that, Nae. We're over the hump.
We are.
That's
So,
good.
Our next question to you, after we talked about your international background a little bit, and if you want to elaborate a little bit more about your family, that would be great too. So in 2002, you were a co-owner of a huge business, and can you tell us a little bit about that and what made you close that business and venture into online selling?
Okay, we when we came to United States, we were looking like I finished a college in Canada, hotel and restaurant management, and I thought it would really present a lot of opportunities for me here in Florida, being hot touristic site, and found out that they actually pay like below minimum wage to work in the hotel business. I'm not talking already about restaurant business. So my husband and me decided to look into something that we could work for ourselves. And at that time we went with the transportation business, opened a company, bought 18 wheelers, big rig trucks with tractor trailers, and started doing cross-country moving. And the business had ups and downs, but it was running smoothly and really successfully at the moment that on the Mother's Day 5 years ago, we were ready to go to work, both me and my husband. I got flowers from all calls from kids, and just I told my husband, look, I'll be late. I have to be first in the office, and I'll see you at the office when you arrive. So I left, and like half an hour later, I got a call from home to rush back because my husband just got a heart attack and passed away.
I'm so sorry. That's
Wow.
tough. Yeah.
It was a real big, it's still a big shock to me. I still can't believe that he's not here. It's 5 years this past Sunday when we had a Mother's Day. It was exactly Sunday. It was Mother's Day 5 years ago. And I still can't believe that one day the door won't open and he won't walk in. But fast forward, I kept the business for 2 years, and it was just a little bit too hard for me dealing with trucks, braking, motors, tires, drivers, all that stuff, that finally I decided to close the business and ventured into selling.
Wow, that's a big life change, and yeah, that's a lot.
And so, and my condolences, but so that's a heck of a, hey, I'm running 18 wheelers. I'm going to sell on eBay.
Yeah.
How'd you get there? I mean, what made you think, hey, I should try this out? I mean, did you buy something and you're like, oh, I could do this?
Well, while back home, we had quite a odd collection of old and historic stuff. My grandfather from my mom's side actually was a diplomat for Lithuania in 1933, and he traveled and worked for various countries and brought some cool stuff from there. So we were into collecting back then. I mainly collected old books that unfortunately I couldn't transport all of them. Well, living in so many countries, I still have a few that I value most, but when I came to Canada, I got a job at a center for new immigrants, since I speak quite a few languages. So they thought I'm really helpful there. And strangely enough, they put me into the housewares department. That I actually learned a lot. And what to pick, what to look for. I bought books and looking into makers, into like from cups to figurines to regular pots and pans that made from cast iron, and as we all know, they are good sellers. So even before my husband passed, we had so many small knickknacks that my kids told me that they really don't like them. They will never need them. And I put
Mom,
them
I don't
on.
like this stuff.
Yeah, and they said they will put everything into big garbage bags and put me at the mailbox of the street if they need to move it. So I decided to put them on eBay, and at that time in 2002, everything was auctions. There were no, or at least I don't remember that there were.
Yeah, I think it was still auctions only at that point.
Yes, and with my ugly pictures at that time, my poor description, almost everything sold. So when I had this life-changing event, I decided, hey, why not try eBay? So that's how I ended, selling on eBay.
And then now you're here with us because not only do you sell online, you're good. Your pictures, I'm amazed. They're not amazed, but you have an artistic eye. You're not just taking the shot.
Thank you.
And I know Nadine, you will get into the social media aspect because you jumped into that too. Let's see here. So as of today, now you started your business sourcing the stuff that your kids say, hey, get rid of this. So today, though, where do you do most of your sourcing to find your goodies to flip?
At one point, I was doing garage sales, and yes, it's a good source, but you have to cover a lot of garage sales, during Saturday. Here, they basically have it on Saturdays only, very seldom on Sundays. And then I switched to estate sales that I bought a lot of duds that, they are still sitting here. And now I basically do Goodwill. You come, there is no rush. If you see a good item, you know that it would sell, you buy it. While in estate sales, you get a good deal if you buy more, because they give you a discount on volume, but you end up, with a lot of shipped items that you had no time to check or just buy too much. So Goodwill, we don't have savers in my part of Florida.
No, and I think Nay's somewhat the same way. I like all those options, but as I get older, indoors, climate controlled, a bathroom to go pee-pee in, those are the things I like.
Yes.
I like a good garage sale, good estate sale, but man, give me a good big thrift store with nice racks. I'm a happy camper.
Okay, so Rosita, can you tell us what platforms you sell on and what platforms you have the most success on?
I try to cover as many platforms as I know of that would sell. So I do eBay, I do Etsy, I do Amazon, I do Bonanza. I put on I offer and Craigslist the items that are too big to ship or the shipping would eat your all profit. Now, I tried all those smaller ones like maybe 2 years ago and had no success. So I just decided it's a waste of time, putting on all those small ones that you can Google and it will pop out, but there is no traffic there.
That's great that you have an experience with multiple, though, and that you've...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So as of this moment, today, 2016, we're mid-May, what's the biggest challenge to you right now selling online?
Writing the description.
Really?
Wow.
Wow, I wasn't, yeah. I mean, I didn't know what the answer was going to be, but...
Well, for you guys, it's really easy because English is your mother's tongue. For me, to write a description, I need to write it the way that it wouldn't sound that an immigrant translated from Lithuanian to English. So I'm trying, to be as brief as possible in my description, saying if, let's say it's a dress, okay, so the maker, the size, the colors, I give the measurements, and I try not to go deeper into it. But if it's an antique or an old item that I have on Etsy, I do the research, and then just, from 5-6 pages on different, platforms, I read about the item, and then I try to combine something that would be appealing to somebody to read.
And how many languages do you speak? Because you touched on that.
Well, I speak probably 5 or 6, but I am losing a lot of them by not using.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's about 5 or 6 more than I can speak. So hey, you got that going for you.
I speak French and English, so we had a little conversation in French, but I do understand what you're saying, because when you translate, I only know French to English, but when you translate that literally, it doesn't come out the same as English. There's a lot of sayings and different translations in English. It just doesn't come out exactly the same, so it would sound very odd translated from French to English or vice versa. So I do understand what you're saying about that.
Yeah, that's why I ask for the help in the group with keywords, because it's, as I said, description, keywords is my weakest point.
Well, I'm glad that the group is helping you for that, and I do understand the language translation challenge. Even if you do, if you plug something into Google Translate, it does not translate directly the same. It's just it's different because there's different sayings, there's different even like in French, the adjectives come after the noun, whereas in English it's vice versa. So I know it's a lot different. So
what's the biggest success you've had, or the thing you're most proud of, having sold, or maybe you taught someone? I mean, so pertaining to all your online selling, what's the one thing that you're like, oh man, I love telling this story at cocktail parties?
Oh, well, there are a lot of stories that I bought an item that I thought it was just cool, and then figured out that it's really worth something. But if you're asking what was my biggest sale, I bought a painting, a signed oil painting, huge, fox hunting. I couldn't read the signature up to now, so I just advertised it as a huge painting for clubs or horse riding facilities, and I bought it for $150 and sold for $2,500 on eBay.
Wow!
Wow! Well, that takes the cake.
Without knowing who painted it. It was an original oil painting, but I couldn't get the signature.
Wow.
Wow, that is crazy. I mean, I'm just like, you rock.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So can you talk about some of your scores and duds? We're going to go to some of your scores.
Yeah, let's get into your pictures, because this is one of the main things we had you on for. So, I mean, like this right here, I like it for 2 reasons. I always tell people, when you have more than one item, you don't have to have them in a straight line. And just whatever tabletop you used really just makes it pop more so than a normal tabletop. That's awesome.
Well, I used here a weathered wood that actually was made for me, and my relative just cut the boards and screwed them together, so I have that tabletop. Now, this tabletop doesn't work for every single item that you photograph. No matter how much I like the weathered wood and the feel of it, it doesn't work for china. It works good for primitives. It works good for pots and pans, but you can't put a, expensive teacup, Ainsley or London, any English brand, or Mason porcelain, and expect it to look good. So this is the item that I actually had like a month and a half ago, a second grandchild that is a baby Laura that was born to my son that lives in Canada.
Shout out to
And
baby Laura. Woo woo.
yeah, and one of the lifeguards from the group, Christine Des Moines, I hope I pronounced it right, she very kindly steered me where to go and thrift in Canada, and I was amazed, guys, how many good stuff there is.
Sweet.
I went with one luggage, I came back with two.
Wow, yes, that's
So
great.
this was one of my finds in Canada, and believe me or not, for the three, it's $4.99 Canadian. If you translate it to US, it's probably three something US dollars for the three jars. I think it will sell good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and your pictures will sell it too. And everyone's talking in the chat about it. So what? This is a good question to grab from the chat to ask right now. What kind of lighting are you using?
It's a daylight.
That's it?
It's a daylight. No, I experiment with the lights, with everything, and still find that the daylight is pretty awesome. That's the best result that you can get.
Yeah, Rosita and I were talking a little bit before the show about that, and I've said this often. I have a very small city house. It's very narrow and very tall, and my upstairs is very well lit. So I take my photos in optimum daylight. Daylight. I take advantage of the daylight, and that's where I take all my photos. So I have limited time to take my photos, but I sell mostly women's clothing and larger things, so I don't really a lighting setup. I just wouldn't have the room for it, unfortunately. So daylight can be amazing. So, that's what I do for all my photos too.
All right, so you found these, and then you found this awesome. Is this a sheet?
Yes, it's a twin bed flight sheet. Unfortunately, there was no pillowcases or fitted sheet, but it's Walt Disney Productions, so I believe they are before 1987 that they renamed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that sells too. It's not none of the item I listed yet, so I just took quick shots for.
Oh, so these are just quick throwaways, huh?
Yes.
Awesome items, yeah.
Now this is board game, and it's Milton Bradley, and it's 1987 or 89. When I picked it up in Canada, they showed me $29.99 as a going price. Unfortunately, here in US, when I checked, it's way, way lower. So I'm not sure if it's actually a score or a dud.
So here's my photography tip for you and for everyone listening. When you're doing games, take out the game and set it up like somebody's in the middle of playing it, and it definitely evokes a different reaction than just taking the shot of it closed up like this. A lot of people do it this way, and I find when I set it up, my games sell quicker and for better prices.
Yeah, but this inside it's sealed, so I can't set it up.
Well, then ignore everything I just said. My bad.
I was going to say that too, that a lot of the games that I purchase will be sealed, so you can't.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's sealed, yeah, of course. But if it's not, yeah, set that sucker up. Make somebody look at it and go, "Oh man, I love that game. Oh, if I was in that, I would make this move right now. Shit, I'm buying it."
Good tip. Oh wow.
That's a cool Mickey top.
That is awesome.
Well, I couldn't find on eBay anything. It's again from Canada, and it's $4 or $5.99, and I couldn't find in solds nothing comparable. I don't say it's something very specific, but it's very lightweight. It probably will cost me like $2.60 to ship it, because I think it's like 7 or 8 ounces. And I think it's cool. It should.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is great. It's funny you're finding the Disney stuff in Canada and you live in Florida, where.
Yeah, that is kind of. It's ironic, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then the last one. Now this I love too because again, it's
Oh,
like when I
wow.
did the
That
tiki
is.
mugs for Nadine. Most people put things in a long line. You not only grouped it like I would, you flip some over, you stack some non-like things together.
Yep.
I don't even know I would have went this far, and I love, love, love this picture.
I love the upside down bowls. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks. That's from Canadian flea market.
And what do you
That's
remember what you
great.
paid for this lot?
Oh yeah, I paid $35 for, but I purchased them from separate vendors. It's
Okay.
not in a flea
Oh,
market.
wow.
So I got one, then I got two, then I got three. So the total was 32 or 35 Canadian dollars for that lot.
Wow.
That-
That's gonna do great.
all right, and now you. Oh man, what is this crazy echo all of a sudden?
I hear it too.
You hear too?
Yes.
Crap. All right, let me try something here. Wow, how did that just happen?
Mm.
All right, I'm gonna mute you for a second. All right, let's try it now. Nope. All right, I'm gonna mute myself.
Mm. Okay. Are you there, Jay?
Well, I was gonna mute myself and have you talk, but it was just as
Oh
echoey.
no.
Oh, geez. Technology and Rosita are just not friends. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Is
I
it
think you
gone?
might be okay. I think so.
Wow, that was crazy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Rosita, you said these are your duds, but I love the picture on the mirror, so let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I like your
Okay,
reflection
so
photos.
I'm trying to experiment with pictures, and well, let's talk about pictures. There are different ways. First of all, different backgrounds: white, black, and weathered wood that I use. I know the classic, and everybody says it has to be on the white, but there is sometimes the items that won't catch the eye if it's on the white. So I tried putting it on the black, and it looks, at least for me, it looks way better.
Oh, yeah.
Then I read on the internet that if you use a reflective surface, it would give some better lighting to your picture. So I sometimes do on plain glass. You have to raise it up a little bit so it won't sit exactly on your whatever you are using, black or white background. So you raise the glass up a little bit and you put the item. In this case, with the mug, I used the mirror, and I like the reflection. I actually like the picture. I was critiqued by a professional photographer saying it's confusing, people will think it's two or whatever, but I don't know. Sometimes, our view, how to present the item, and the view of professional photographer is different. So.
Now, see, I don't agree with him on this one, but I will say I do agree with him on this one. Because this one looks like they're super long. Oh, technology.
Yes,
All right. Hey, you talk. I'm gonna switch headsets.
Okay. So yeah, I can see that one. It looks like they're extended more than they. But for the most part, I think your reflection photos are pretty cool. And as an artist, I have an artistic eye because that's what I'm schooled in. That's what I am. But I really like the reflection idea. It's cool and it's unique. So for the most part, I think it works for most of the photos.
Well, when I'm talking about pictures, what I would, suggest, or what I am actually trying to do, I'm trying to make the picture interesting. So even the person who has no intention to buy that mug or a dress or a purse will still look at it just because of the curiosity. And who knows, you know, maybe he'll decide he wants to buy that, even if he had no intention of buying. And even if he doesn't buy, the more clicks you get, the more you're higher ranking in the search range. So it's also good. So try to make the pics as interesting as possible so more people will look at it.
So they stand out, yes. I can see that.
Now the last one, it's a dud, obviously, like the two others before. And I bought it for I don't remember, $1, $2. And I thought it's such a cute mouse. And the picture is not so awfully bad, and it still sits. And I put it on in the thread, sharing thread, and it had millions of clicks, and it still doesn't sell.
Jay, are you there? Oh, I think we might have lost. Did we lose you, Jay? So yeah, I think that mouse is adorable, and I think that reflection works because it's kind of a minimal reflection.
Okay, I see the next picture. I'm not sure if everybody sees it.
I see the commemorative plate.
Yeah, the commemorative plate. It also doesn't sell. So it's an example of a dud.
So yeah, you know, I have trouble with there you are. So I have trouble with plates as well. I just there's only been a few plates that I've actually sold. Yes, you're there. You're back.
Yay!
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I know you dropped out. I was like, oh, where'd Jay go?
No, sorry, everyone. I was trying to get a new headset in, and I had a. All right, there we go.
Yeah, you totally dropped out.
So let me say real quick. I like I said on the Tiki mug, I did love it. On the mouse, I loved it.
I know, it was cool.
This reflection was incredible because it just gives me such a cool feeling. I get all warm and fuzzy by this one.
I agree.
Well, it's still a dud.
Oh yeah, it's a dud. But look, we're talking. You know, yeah, we all have duds and scores. But man, you and your dud pictures are awesome.
So can you explain how you do the mirror, how you get the reflection photos? Can you explain your exact technique with that? Because your lighting is good, the reflection is cool. It's
well, it's just on a mirror with a black background.
Wow.
So there's nothing, no extra light. I'm still struggling with lights, and whenever I try to come closer to you have to find that spot in your house that you are comfortable taking the pictures.
Yep.
Or you have to be proficient in using the daylights. And what I wanted to mention, I saw in when we are sharing each other items every day, you know, on Pinterest or Twitter or wherever people choose to share, a lot of people that take pictures, I believe in the evening or when they come from work or whenever they can take the pictures, they use artificial lights, and they are yellow. And the most, what I wouldn't suggest doing, you know, at least get the daylight bulbs so the picture won't be yellow.
That is a really good tip.
Yeah, I added big daylight bulbs to my photo studio last week, and my pictures look so much better. I was mad I didn't do it sooner, and I added, you know, I've got the light boxes, and I added the big ones, the giant ones, and at first I thought it was gonna be overkill. I look at my photos, I'm like, oh man, other than plain white shirts, I don't have to change color on anything. I just had to lighten up the white a little bit, but yeah. If you can't get the daylight that Rosita's getting, and you gotta get the daylight bulbs because it'll make a world of difference.
I would advise, you know, speaking about taking pictures, use a tripod. Because even you don't feel, you still, whenever you push that, you know, click to take the picture, your hands will move a little bit. And the picture shows everything bad what you don't want to show, you know, the blurry, an iron backsplash, that you put there. Everything around your table when you take a picture with, that's a cool item that you are featuring, but if you turn your eye to the left, you see, the cat passing, the tail, or the a dirty, bottle standing on the right. So cut it off, just crop the picture and crop it the way that you would showcase the most interesting part. You don't have to show, let's say there was a thread and many people posted pantyhose, vintage. Mm-hmm. You don't have to show the whole package. Usually the graphics on those old ones are so cool. You can take, one leg or something out of that. You don't have to show the whole item, especially on the front. On the front pic, then you show on the second, the third, you show damages or whatnot, what you need to show. But the first one, just take eye-capturing pictures so that everybody want to look at it.
Awesome. So,
are you sure you're not me? Because I mean, this is all the things I talk about. Like, you don't have to have the whole subject in the first picture. You got to have the eye-catching picture. Yep. Because the wonderful things he does, because a lot of people shop on their phone and not everyone's rocking a 6 Plus. A lot of people have got a 4. And funny, I'll tell you a quick funny story, then we'll finish up with you. I was giving my Tiki speech and I mentioned that and I said, okay, who's got the flip phone? Every crowd has a flip phone and no one admitted to it. And I said, wow, the first crowd got a flip phone. A lady has to go to the bathroom. While she's gone, her phone rings. It's buried in her purse. The poor husband's unzipping the purse. He's digging in it. And he pulls out the flip phone. And we all looked at him and went, I told you there was a flip phone here somewhere. Busted.
I remember the Motorola Razr. And someone, I forget, someone I was recently talking to was still using one. I was, wow, yes.
All right, we are going to wrap up with a question, Nadine, or not a question, but Nadine wants to get a ball rolling. So go ahead, Naen.
So, Rosita, the reason that you originally caught my attention to be a guest, and also some of our fellow lifeguards who run the social media segment on the thrifting board, you're one of our most exuberant social media thread participators, and obviously your photos caught our eye, but you also pretty much every day you participate in the social media threads. And I just wanted to ask you how you use social media to help your business grow and sell your items. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. First of all, I didn't start social media until 4 months ago. So I'm trying to get more followers, and the way to get more followers is to add more interesting things. So if I share, in the thread, somebody else who posted, my Pinterest account went from 200 followers to 2,000 something just in.
Wow, you're doing it right.
In 3 weeks or something. Then the same with Twitter, the same with Instagram. The only thing with Instagram and Twitter, you don't put just what you are selling all the time, like, oh, I have this, oh, this is cool, oh, this. Just put some variety of interesting pics that people will also want to look, and that will draw attention to your shop or your listing. So these are the 2 pictures that I provided, that I wanted to just to tell why they are there. And the first one was the purple.
Yep, got it. Hang on 2 seconds, and boom, there it is.
And this is the picture that I took while in Montreal.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sorry, there we go. Sorry about that.
Okay. This is in the Central Library of Montreal. And it's a, how should I say, a statue, okay? But I found it really cool. And I just used it for social media, saying, drop that gorgeous items in my Etsy store.
That's great.
And the other picture was of my grandson, sitting near the big frog. And I put on Instagram, hey, my friend is checking our cool stuff. Why not join him in our store, you know? And I really got good response from people for both pictures. Everybody liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, engaging content and not just spamming your items and, you know, buy this, buy that, buy that. That's exactly what you need to do with social media. You have the right idea. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a cute grandson you have.
Thank you.
So, are you there, Jay?
I think he disappeared again.
Oh, no, he dropped out again. So can you tell us about that frog backpack? Because that's pretty cool.
Well, that's actually a flower pot.
Really? It looks like, oh my goodness, it looks like a backpack. Okay.
Yes. At the back, it's a hole to put, you know, your flowers. So,
wow.
Or just plant, or with the pot with those ugly plastic ones could go inside so you won't see it. And it's right in front of my entrance to the house. So it's not for sale. It's just for promotional purposes. The picture was taken.
That's cool. So it looks like it's kind of a Mexican. Is that a Mexican piece?
It's like, looks like terracotta, not terracotta, but what do you call that? Like from ceramic, like pieces of tile added together.
Yeah, that's really cool. How old is your grandson?
Well, he just turned 3.
Wow, so cute. Oh my goodness. So if there's any way to get someone on to buy your items on social media, show your cute kids, your cute grandkids or your cute kids. That's a good
well,
tip there.
you can take pictures of flowers, or you can take pictures of, you know, nature, and just mix it with whatever you are selling. Just don't put all the time buy this from me.
Wow. Yes, exactly. That's what I think. That's what ruins people on social media. That's how you get your followers to unfollow you. If you just constantly spam them, you know, just look at this item. Look at this item I have for sale. Buy this. Buy that. But you have to give engaging content. And you know, with my illness and whatnot, I've I was really doing great on Twitter, and just kind of I'm vegan. I like giraffes. Like there's little, you know, there's certain things about me that I would also, you know, kind of direct to my
Am I back?
my audience. Yes, you're back. Thank goodness.
Oh my God, I can hear you guys. You're talking about maddening. I could hear you, and I could not even do anything. I'm like, what do I do?
So I like art also. So I would tweet out, you know, some art posts here and there, and I would gain followers from that. You know, it's really awesome if you just take your, you know, just your what you like and what you like to do, and you tweet that out, or you use that as a base to gain some fans. You can really gain an audience that way. So, and sell your items at the same time.
Yeah,
we are obviously way over our butt. I want to get through the rest of these things because
without losing you again.
So, and this time it's my end. I'm assuming because you guys were both there. I could not get back to you.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yes.
So these are some more of the pictures you wanted to share with us, Rosita.
Okay, this is a huge glass elephant that is actually, I don't remember, 12 pounds or even more.
Oh, 12 pounds.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say, it's really hard to take pictures of glass. So I just wanted to advise, you know, like if you just buy the item if it's glass, if you really need to buy it, because you will be struggling with good pictures. It won't show on white, it won't show on any other color, you know, and you have to get the lighting just right to show what it is, because all I was getting from this elephant like a huge pile of glass, and nobody understood what is that.
And this is a great close-up and combination of the two things you need to see, the artist's name and the maker's little tag there. So that's a great and you're so right. When I do cocktail glassware, black is the only background for it for see-through glass.
Yeah.
It just makes it look so much better, and you're proving it right there.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, the next picture was also, I was trying to show how to just cut, don't show the whole picture. It's an actually art piece. It's a picture, and it's under glass, and it gives glare, and it's also hard to take a good shot at it. So I tried, getting somehow in the middle of it so it won't show that it's under glass and won't show glare, and I think I just succeeded on this one.
Hey Rosita, and this is my bad for not getting this. What is your eBay ID?
Oh, it's exactly the same. I just opened a store like a week ago. I had the store before, like maybe 5-6 months ago, and I just didn't do really good at that time, and I decided, well, I don't want to pay the eBay fees, and now I'm back, opened the store, and it's exactly the same like you saw, 777 Vintage Street.
Okay, so very easy, 777 Vintage Street. It's an easy name to remember, easy name to spell. It's always good too.
Yeah. You have a great artistic eye. Fantastic.
I'm trying to make the pictures more interesting, so probably the next one with the hat. Oh yeah, we have one that would be the last one.
You want the hat?
The next item.
There we go.
So the necktie, it's actually a dud, so I'm trying to do it more interesting so people would at least look at it. So I added, since it's a headless mannequin, so I added a hat and obviously a blazer to somehow showcase that tie.
Awesome.
It's like the Invisible Man's outfit.
It is. It really is. Yeah. That's great.
And then the Tommy Bahama.
And the Tommy Bahama is just trying to show that I don't only just do black background. I do white, but you have to look, what kind of items you want to put on that, because I noticed in our group, a lot of people started using black background, and not everything works good on the black background. So I usually have 2 background sets and move the mannequin, and when I take pictures afterwards, I check, which one will expose the item better.
Yeah, that's a good looking shirt, and it really looks nice. And it's funny because I used to use a full size mannequin like this, and I didn't have any pants or shorts on the bottom. And of course, it isn't anatomically correct, but I used to catch a lot of grief that I don't want to see your mannequin's package, so I put shorts on them. But I was like, if you're that concentrated on the mannequin's package, you got some issues in your head there, people.
Yeah, people get hung up on.
But it looks good. It looks great with jeans. I love it. Yeah, I mean that shirt looks so nice.
That is awesome.
Why can't it be my size? Small. I was a small when I was 6, and that was the last time I was a small.
That is a great shirt, though.
Yes, what I wanted to say, the shirt, I iron my garments before putting on the mannequin. So it's a tip for our group, just, spend some time, iron your shirt, put it nicely. It will sell for way more than wrinkled one on a couch or on a floor.
Yep.
And I will say, I was one that didn't ever iron. I told people don't bother. And my friend was holding a garage sale with me. She had got all these new products in boxes, and the boxes got damaged, so she didn't want to sell them. So we sold them at the garage sale, and I grabbed a couple things, and one was a steamer. And so it was a brand new, like fancy, heavy-duty steamer. And so we tried it out, and I got to tell you, my Hawaiian shirts look a lot better with a little bit of steam.
Yep.
So I am a convert to making your stuff look a little nicer.
Yeah, I see my items before I photograph them too, and usually again, after they go in the Rubbermaid bins, I have to steam them again before they get shipped. But it does help with the photos and definitely big difference.
All right, through the trials and tribulations, we made it through a show. Yay!
Yes.
Technology. Oh, there's Rosita. Technology has not been our friend. It wasn't your friend last week. It wasn't my friend this week. But we made it. And
well, I am just glad it's not me again.
Yeah,
No,
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 not
and
you.
it wasn't your fault last week, and not at all. So.
But what a great show, and I hope people come back and watch it. I hope people who are watching live or watching later tell their friends, because if nothing else, if you skip all of Nae's and I's tips, you just look at Rosita's pictures, at some point between all the ones we showed, there should be something in your head that goes, I got to do that better, because it is about the picture is what's going to grab people. Oh, did I sell something? Nope. The picture is what's going to grab somebody's attention on your phone, and if you're just doing it kind of half-assed, it's not going to be as good as Rosita's stuff. So thank you, Rosita.
Yes, thank you. You were great. And we have to talk about our next week's show too, Jay, before we
Yeah,
go.
we will.
Okay.
Yep, I just want to thank Rosita and thanks for and thanks for sticking with it, and thanks for coming back. Thanks for getting another computer.
2 weeks in a row.
Thanks. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, so real quick, our show next week. Unfortunately, we got to switch to Wednesday again because Nadine's got something on Thursday. But we got a great guest next week. Has been a friend of mine for a long time. Has been a friend of Nae's for a while. And and what are we going to talk about next week, Nadine?
We're going to talk about hubcaps.
I'm sorry. What are we talking about next week?
Hubcaps.
We're going to talk about hubcaps. And now you might be listening going, I'm not listening next week. You should, because Joe, or Hubcap Joe, as he's known around the world, or the crazy, is it crazy cab driver? Crazy
New York cab driver. Yes, he lives right near New York City. He actually lives like close to me. So like
with my niche with Tiki mugs, and that's only part of what I sell, but his niche is hubcaps, and he has done it in just his niche. I don't think he ventures much outside his niche. So we're going to talk to somebody with a hardcore niche that stays in their niche, and Joe's doing quite well. So Joe's going to be our guest. So it's next Wednesday night, same time, just on Wednesday night. And then, of course, back to Thriftapalooza. It's going to be a heck of a week following that. So we're going to start in Philly with our live show. That'll be on Friday from Philly AIDS Thrift, the coolest thrift store in the country. So although our shows bounce around a little bit, just stay tuned to either the Thrifting Board, the Thrifty Business with Jay and Nae fan page, or just my YouTube channel. So down below, please give us a thumbs up, and then also click subscribe. Subscribe, I think, is right down here, and you'll know when we're having a show. But right now, I can tell you for sure, next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. East Coast, 6 p.m. West Coast. Thank you, Rosita, for being our guest. Thank you to my mother for filling in last week on a fly.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Rosita's mother, to my mother, to Nadine's mother.
Yes.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, moms. And Jay, can you step back for a second and show your shirt, because someone in the chat is asking to see your shirt.
Yep, there's my shirt. I don't want to end on a sour note, but I lost my little girl Roxy this week, and so that's why her picture is. Did I lose the picture? Where'd the picture go?
I think you lost your picture.
Oh, my technical difficulties. So most of the show, you've seen the picture, and this is a brand new pug shirt I got, so I wanted to wear it in honor of my little girl.
In honor of Roxy, yes. We loved Roxy, and we're so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in live. I love you all, our live viewers. I love our after the live viewers, too. So please spread the word. Tell everyone to tune in. It was another great show. And we've learned a lot. And I know it's a good show because I'm so busy conducting my show. But when I learn something from the show, that means that our guest is the bomb diggity, and she showed us a lot of good stuff. So I cannot wait to go buy a mirror. And I'm going to rock some of my little things that I think are going to really enhance following Rosita's lead. So thank you, Rosita.
What an amazing guest, and what an amazing attribute to the Thrifting Board you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for inviting.
Oh, of course. And thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Thrift on, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes.
Bye.